As a starting point, the basic thing you need to know about the process is that it has three major parts, and each part requires a whole different mindset. In fact, the difference between these three mindsets is so great that it's like you're almost switching between three different personalities. That's why I like referring to them as your personal dream team. And I imagine these three different people that you kind of pass the work between them. These three people are the dreamer, who comes up with fresh ideas, the explorer, who takes a raw idea and develops it into a full vision, and the craftsman or the maker, who does the actual construction work. So for example, let's say you're a writer. The dreamer is going to be the one who finds the initial idea and writes a quick synopsis. Then the explorer is going to be the one doing the research, developing background stories for the characters, charting timelines for the different plots, and so on. And the maker is going to be the one actually writing the actual words that people are going to end up reading. Or to take another example, say you're a web designer. So the dreamer is going to come up with a visual concept and produce some initial pencil sketches. The explorer is going to try different things, look at similar websites for inspiration and ideas, maybe play around with fonts and other visual elements, develop a site map, maybe even create a quick working prototype to make sure that the concept works well. This is all the explorer. And then the maker is going to create the final design with all the final graphic elements that are going to end up on screen. The underlying idea here is that all you have to do in order to avoid a ton of problems is just to not let these guys interfere with each other's work. I can't stress this enough. Even if you don't see it immediately, believe me when I say that most of the creative problems you've been struggling with probably come from having these three guys working at the same time, getting in each other's way and completely confusing you and confusing the workflow. By the way, I should mention, for those of you who are already familiar with CreativityWise approach, you might be confused right now because you know there are actually four personalities. The fourth one is called the Pro. And the reason I'm not talking about him in this lecture is that he's kind of a coordinator and not exactly part of the creative process itself. You wouldn't be too wrong, actually, to imagine him as the guy focusing on the pipeline. In other words, monitoring and controlling the flow of the work.